Hey there guys, I'm Time Lord Fishwick here, and in this video, as you all know, I have just finished Series 9, and I'm going to talk about it like I did with Series 8. So, Series 9, this is a series that I'm gonna have mixed opinions about, because if you haven't seen my reviews for all the episodes for Series 9, go and check them out. You'll see there's a few episodes I really liked and those episodes that I didn't. So I'm going to talk to you about that. So if you want to go back and watch them, then please do and come back to this video. But anyway, for those who have seen my episode reviews, now I want to talk about the 12th Doctor. Now, as I've said in other episode reviews, Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor, he changes. He is completely different to how he was in Series 8, and I didn't like that. In Series 8, you get this rebel Time Lord, and what you see from the 12th Doctor is what you get, and I loved that. But in Series 9, it just turned it into a rocker cool dad, or slash uncle, if you want, Doctor, playing the guitar, the Sonic sunglasses, which I hate. Yeah, and his velvet when it just turned into oh god, there was stuff I didn't like about the 12th Doctor in this series, but yeah, and him just doing it, the darkness from him was just gone. Now, I'm gonna say that I think the only reason why they did that is because I remembered this, that in some episodes of Series 8, when that was coming out, I remember parents complaining about the 12th Doctor, saying he was too dark, not suitable for kids, which is fair enough. But the thing is, when I watched Doctor Who, because I remember watching this since 2005 when the modern series came back on, and I think this is how I see Doctor Who. I think for those people who watched it since then, I think this show should just, because we get older, and I think that Doctor Who should be a bit more darker, but obviously not too dark, because it is basically a family show. But just get it a bit more darker, if you know what I mean. And also, I'd say from the 12th Doctor, from the Series 8 Doctor, I don't think there was a lot of merchandise for his Doctor, because with our previous Doctors, we get, I think that we've had stuff that we've had from, from David Tennant and Matt Smith's Doctor. But with the 12th Doctor in Series 8, I don't think that we didn't get any of that, but that didn't, apart from that didn't bother me, but I can see why they did it for Series 9, because I think it's just I think it's just an excuse for the BBC just to make money from the 12th Doctor, because in this he has the guitar, the sunglasses, as I've said before. I think that was just to make merchandise as well, which I get that, but that is not my 12th Doctor. He is completely different to that. But it's not all bad. I'd say, I think the thing is with with the 12th Doctor in Series 9 because he changes in each episode. Like, 1 minute in one episode he's all like I've just described it, and in the next episode he's turned down to a bit of the a bit more darker to the Series 8 Capaldi, but not as much, if you know what I mean. But I would say, apart from all of that, I think when we did, in my opinion, I think we did get the Series 8 Capaldi back later on in Series 9, which I liked. I think he just came back in Face the Raven, especially when he was going against the Shielder, and in Heaven Sent and Hell Bent as well, even though, as you guys know, who've seen my Hell Bent with You, I absolutely despise that episode. But still, even still, the 12th Doctor is still great in it. Yeah. Now, I'm going to talk about... That's me done with the 12th Doctor. Now, I want to talk about Clara. Now, I'm going to start from how she was in Series 7 to how she was to her last episode of Series 9, Hell Bent. Now, in Series 7, I think she was a very likeable companion, but my only problem with her that she was already a story arc already, which was a bit okay. But I loved the relationship and the connection with her and Eleven. I thought that was amazing, and I think she was a nice fresh breath air in Series 7, because, like, I'm going to take the Rings of Akaten, for instance. She was absolutely amazed to what she was seeing, because I think the Rings of Akaten is such an underrated episode, and, you know, we just got that, like, you know, she was admiring the universe, she loved what the Doctor was showing her. But in series, when it came to after when the 11th Doctor regenerated into the 12th Doctor, I think when we got Series 8 Clara, she went a little bit too confident and too cocky and think she could, like, overpower the Doctor, which I did not like. I just hated that. I mean, there was parts of Clara I did like in Series 8, but again, I just it just turned it down for me. But what was Series 9? Nope, just nope. It just felt like the same as she was in Series 8. Now, I wanted to do this. I actually want to do a separate video on this, but I feel like I should talk about this now in this. So, I think Clara has had so many good opportunities to leave, but it just went so bad. Her exit was so bad in Hell Bent. I just thought, oh no. I'm sorry if you guys, you know, if you liked the way Clara left in how she left, then fair enough. You know, I respect your opinion on it. But personally for me, I just didn't like it. Now, I can think of plenty of ways for her to leave. She could have just left quite early in Series 7. I think this is one of them I would have loved. when in Name of the Doctor, when she sees the War Doctor, when she's inside the Doctor's timeline, seeing all the incarnations of the Doctor, I think when she sees the War Doctor, I think she should see visions of the War Doctor. I know I've kind of said this in my my Heaven Sent review, but I also think that this would have been a good opportunity for her to leave. She sees visions of the Time War, and like what she sees drives her insane. And then it gets onto the point where she's seen so much darkness and what the Doctor has witnessed. And I think she should have just died. Because as we've been told about since the modern series came back, and we've been hearing all these stories about the Time War and how dark it was, I think Clara should have just saw what she saw from the Time War and just thought it was too much for her, and then she just died. I think that would have been such a great and very dark way to go. And then I could see the 11th Doctor and the War Doctor having a bit of an argument about that. I mean, also the 10th Doctor will probably be arguing, even though they kind of did in the prison, but I think that could have just... I thought that would be a good way to add onto it as well, if you know what I mean. But that's one way I would have liked Clara to leave. Now, on to her second way of how she should have left. When the 12th Doctor when the 11th Doctor regenerates, I think that in the end of Deep Breath, she should have she didn't like this new Doctor, and she was saying I don't know who you are anymore. And when she's in the TARDIS with the Doctor saying that to her, saying that, that's when the 12th Doctor drops her off, and then she's gone. Then I also think that would have been a good way to see how that would have ended up as. I think it was close to that point until when we got the phone call off the 11th Doctor from Clara, convincing her to keep on traveling with the 12th Doctor. But I think because the 12th Doctor didn't exactly know who he was too scared. But anyway, and I think she should have left in Mummy on the Orient Express, when Clara and Danny, as they said, the last hurrah, and I think it should have ended there. But no, she was just no, let's just see more planets and all that. Or she could have left and killed the Moon when she got angry with the Doctor and didn't want to see him again. Yeah, but God, there's so many, and then it is one. The series 8 finale, when they said that the 12th Doctor's found Gallifrey, and Clara says she's with Danny, and they both lied to each other. They don't see each other again. And in Last Christmas, she becomes an old lady, and then she should die then, and then the Doctor should cremate her or tell, well, whatever happens. But I think that's another way for her to leave. And we come on to the last one, which we all would have loved to have had, Faith the Raven, and she just died there. God, there's so many ways she could have left, but no. And then we get the monstrosity of Hellbent. So guys, that's just my theories of how I think Clara should have left. Now, I've been wanting to get this off my chest for ages, but I never got around to it until now. And yeah, the episodes itself, they were, Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar. They were okay. We got average episodes, we got bad episodes, and all that, and some good ones with, I would say, the Zygon 2-parter. Now, I don't know what my opinion on this is. A bit mixed. I liked the idea of each episode being a 2-parter. I know, like, Sleep No More and Face the Raven weren't, but I did like that idea because it felt a little bit more like we're in the sort of classic era. But I also wish that we could have had more adventures. But that's just my sort of opinion on that. I just have mixed opinions on that. And the hybrid story arc, I really liked it at first with the whole theory of the hybrid being half Time Lord, half Dalek. I was loving that. But then we got to Heaven Sent and the Doctor had to explain. He said he knew what the hybrid was, and then later on in Hellbent it was just with the Doctor and the Shielder saying that he knew what it was, and then next minute it turned out to be fairies, which just didn't make sense. And on to this day, I'll never understand what the hybrid story arc was. All that I got from it was basically the Doctor and Clara come together by Missy to do what? From what I know, from what the General said, was like it would stop. I don't know, Gallifrey. I don't know. It was just a story that I just couldn't get my head around, and I thought it was ridiculous. Oh. Anyway, guys, I with ratings for this series, I think I've said enough now. For this, Series 9 wasn't the best of Capaldi. Not as good as Series 8, but I thought it was okay. It was an alright series though, so I'm gonna give it a 6. I just thought it was okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say a weak 6. I'm sorry I've been a little bit harsh, but there was bits I did like about. There was stuff I liked about this series, and tell me in the comments on what you thought of Series 9. Please let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a like. Give me a like and subscribe to me if you like. I was going to do the Husbands of River song before, but I just thought, I don't know, I just want to keep the Christmas reviews separate to the series. I watched the Husbands of River song last night, and you'll get my review on that as soon as I can. So, okay then guys, bye for now.